What is up, everybody? How is it going? Less than 2 weeks away from Oregon football, and we're less than a week away from college football. Some teams getting to start on the 26th, Oregon State being one of those teams against Colorado State. Go Colorado State. Um, just wanted to come on here and talk about the season upcoming. I'll leave the week before the game for Southern Utah. So I really wanted to come on here and break things down as best as I possibly could. Obviously, as you can see, a brand new coaching staff, and they have my full support. Believe in every single one of those guys. I have full faith in Taggart and the hires that he's made to come in here and rebuild this program. And I said it in a previous video. This is a building block year. This is a year where you come in and you see what you have. If that's 6-6, fine. If that's 7-5, fine. If somehow you double your win total and go 8-4, fantastic. We'll see what happens in the bowl games. Um, I I'll be happy with 6-6. I won't be content with 6-6. Obviously, you need to get better, but it's not 4-8. So we'll see how this team does. There are some very winnable games on this schedule, and I'll break it down a little bit more here in a second. But I wanted to come out and say this right off the top. I don't want to harp on it too much because I think it's, for most part, a non-issue, and winning should help this, but we'll see. Duck fans, do you remember how electric this place used to be back when Chip was here? How we used to make that place rumble? I had season tickets in 2010. I had season tickets in 2011. That stadium used to absolutely be just ear splitting. I go there now, and you know, I didn't get to any games last year, but people, to me, are complacent, and that's not okay. When you're trying to rebuild a program, when you're trying to show your full support, you got to be there and you got to be loud. And a lot of my friends know I'm not talking about them. I know my buddies stay loud the whole game. But a lot of Duck fans, I feel like, have become used to winning. And maybe 4-8 kind of zapped them a little bit. And maybe it's like, okay, I got to do better. We all got to do better. Because, number one, it's not only going to help with the production on the field, players are going to love it, but it's also going to help with recruiting. These players are going to come in and they're going to see the atmosphere that we create and want to play here. To me, get loud, stay loud. If you come to Austin Stadium this year, whether it's for one game or seven, get loud and stay loud. And great things are going to happen, and it's going to really help the program. Being complacent and being used to winning by 20, 30, 40 points, those times are over. It's time for us to step up as fans, just like the team is having to step up and do better. We have to do better. So I'm going to say, I hope some fans receive that message and take it on wholeheartedly. On to the games. Southern Utah to start on the 3rd. Obviously, that's a game you have to win. There should be no reason to lose to Southern Utah. Even at 4-8, we beat up on the non-conference opponents that weren't named Nebraska. So you really have to take advantage of these opportunities when they come to you. Then Nebraska the next week. I said it after the game last year, that we should have won that game. We had every opportunity in the world to win that game, and we didn't, and that's okay. So this year I feel like is even a better year to go in and win that game at home. Will we? We'll see. If we do, to me, there's no reason why this team can't win 8 games. You look at the rest of the schedule. You got Arizona State on the road, Cal and Washington State at home. Those are games where I don't think they completely and utterly outmatch us. Those are games that are very, very, very winnable, in my opinion. Then you have to go to Stanford and to UCLA back to back. 2 back-to-back road games is never easy. UCLA, as long as Jim Moore is the coach, I feel like is a very beatable ball club. We've had great success down in LA. I can't remember the last time we lost when we went down to UCLA. Maybe I'm just forgetting. But we've had great success going down to UCLA and winning and coming back with a victory. So as long as Moore is there, I don't feel a need to be overly concerned for that game. Will it be a difficult game? Sure, it will be. Stanford is another story. Stanford is a team that is, always contending for the Pac-12 North. They were contending before we knocked them off the year Vernon was here, so the year prior to 4-8. Knocked them off on the farm. Joe Walker came up with a big batted ball on that 2-point conversion, and sometimes you get lucky. And maybe we'll have to get lucky to beat him again. So we'll see. So that's another game. That's a game I could see us losing. So up until the Stanford game, I don't see a team on our schedule that is heads and tails better than us. So what should that be? You should be 6-1 going into UCLA on the road, in my opinion. And now will we? Who knows? But 6-1 is very attainable for this team after Stanford. Then like I said, UCLA, in my opinion, is a toss-up right now, just because we don't know what we have, though we have had success going down there in the past. Then you get Utah at home, a team that came in here a few years back and spanked you around a little bit. I made a rant video about that when that happened, and it can't happen again. It won't happen. We will not get beat that badly in a long time, I hope. But Utah is another toss-up game to me. They're always pesky. For some reason, they are just always a stick in somebody's craw, and for some reason it seems to be ours. The year that we went to the championship game, when Farrell got hurt, absolutely gave us a dogfight for 3.5 quarters. And if it wasn't for that drop touchdown pass that turned into a touchdown our way, who knows what happens. They go up 14-0, and who knows what happens. Came back and won the game I think we won by double digits, but that game was a lot closer than the score made it out to be. Then you have Washington on the road. They absolutely smacked us around last year in our own stadium. There's no reason for me to believe that we can go into Seattle and win. Would I love for us to do so? Absolutely. It would give me nothing but joy to go into Seattle and, start a new streak against the Huskies. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Just being honest. Then you finish the year out with Arizona and Oregon State, both at home. Yes, both at home. Those are two very winnable ball games. So right now, the only games I see where you can make an argument that someone's better than us is Stanford and Washington. Both games on the road. Both are going to be very difficult. I'm going to chalk those up as losses. Then you get into the games like UCLA and Utah. Those, to me, are toss-up games. UCLA on the road, Utah at home. You just never know what you're going to get from either of those ball clubs. So if you split that, you go 9-3. If you lose both, you go 8-4. 8-4, in my opinion, is, a great year after going 4-8. And I mean, maybe somebody sneaks up and gets us. Maybe Arizona State in the desert gets us. So you go 7-5. But yeah, right in there with 7-5, 8-4 is right where you need to be. Or Nebraska. So there you go at 6-6. Who knows what happens? You can make arguments for both. That Nebraska's going to beat us. Arizona State's going to beat us. A lot of people are calling Wyoming a trap game. I don't see it myself personally, but okay. But Nebraska, Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA, and Utah, and Washington are the games that you really have to look out for. Those are the games that are going to make and break your year. So that's, 6 games that are going to make or break your year. If you split those and you win the other 6, what's that, 9-3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. If you split those, let's just say you split your toss-up games, 9-3. Not a bad year. After going 4-8, not a bad year. But this video's run really, really long. I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I've said it all off season. Go to a bowl game, win the bowl game, and I'll be happy. Win more than 6, and I'll be absolutely elated. Obviously, after looking at the schedule, there's a lot more winnable games on there than I thought. So, 7-5, 8-4, and maybe even 9-3, I feel like is very attainable. Might have to have a few breaks go our way, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So as always, guys, go Ducks, and I'll see y'all for Southern Utah later on.